Hello, and I'm Amanda. I'm excited to share with you today some practical strategies for embracing an asset-based approach when working with English learners in our diverse classroom, moving away from deficient-based thinking and instead honoring the rich cultural and linguistic assets our students bring is key to reducing inadequacy and closing achievement gaps. Culture deeply influences both teaching and learning. It shapes the way students perceive and process information, their preferred learning styles, communication patterns, and how they connect with course content. For many English learners, cultural practices inform everything from storytelling to collaborative work. Recognizing these influences means understanding that cultural background isn't an extra layer of difference. It is the lens through which many of our students interpret the world around them. Cultural competency is the ability of educators to understand, appreciate, and interact effectively with students across diverse cultures. It involves recognizing our own bias and learning about our students' backgrounds and designing instructions that is inclusive in the content of teaching English learners. Cultural competency means developing lesson plans that integrate students' native language, beliefs, and experiences. As Genova Gay highlights in her work on culturally responsive teaching, when educators actively connect curricular content with students' cultural experiences, learners become more engaged and confident, which positively impacts the cultural achievement. You can merge English learner cultural assets with learning by incorporating cultural relative texts, real life examples, and discussions that honor students' traditions. For example, including literature written by authors from students' cultures or inviting community members to share insights, creating bridges between home and school. Whether you're highlighting cultural narratives during history lessons or linking scientific concepts to integrate ways of knowing, the key is to validate what students bring to the classroom. The approach not only enhances academic content, but also affirms that their cultural identities are strengths rather than deficiencies. Culture is central. Culture is central to how students learn by influencing their cognitive frameworks and even language adequacies. A school environment that displays culturally diverse artwork, multilingualistic signage, and familiar cultural artifacts is far more welcoming to English learners. Such inclusive fosters both academic and social successes. In practical terms, creating these environments might involve flexible seating arrangements that support collaborative learning, integrating interactive technologies that allow students to give voice to their experiences, and committing to the classroom norms that respect every linguistic and cultural background. Gloria Billings argues that such cultural responsive settings empower students to see themselves as valuable contributors to their learning environment. Consider implementing cultural theme projects, international days, and storytelling sessions where students share their personal and family traditions. Class discussions that compare different cultural perspectives on shared topics can promote empathy and critical engagement. Additionally, leveraging home language is an asset that is essential, allowing students to sometimes use their native language to explore a concept before expressing it in English. This translanguaging approach enforces their home language and enriches their learning environment than hindering it. English learners come with a range of language skills, learning preferences, and sometimes special needs. Differentiate instruction is an effort strategy here. This includes tailoring lessons not only to content but also in process to meet individual language proficiencies and strengths, using formative assessments and flexibility grouping supports all learners, ensuring that no one feels left behind. English learners often not just have academic challenges but also have the emotional aspect of adapting to new cultural and language, investing time in building strong interpersonal relationships, initiating regular check-ins, and incorporating social emotional learning strategies can help English learners feel safe and valued. Addressing these needs is vital when establishing classroom routines and procedures. Routines built with sensitivity to cultural and emotional backgrounds help create predictable, secure spaces where all students can thrive. When we establish classroom routines and procedures that acknowledge these dimensions, we're not just organizing our classroom, we're treating an environment where every student understands expectations and feel appreciated. Acknowledging cultural behaviors, communication styles, and social interactions lays the groundwork for trust, respect, and cornerstones for a productive learning community. In addition, face-to-face interaction, think about establishing committees or communities that include parents, cultural, local organizations. Such forms allows for multi-directional flows of ideas to ensure that school policies reflects the cultural vibrant of the community. These inclusive approaches result in a richer programming in and out of the classroom. By rethinking our roles as educators and embracing an asset-based approach, we not only close the equality gap, but also create we not only close the adequacy gap, but we also create a learning environment where every student's cultural and linguistic identity is celebrated. Research by Gale and Billings reminds us that while we honor and integrate the diversity experiences of our English learners, we build classrooms and communities where all students can succeed. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of cultural response teaching, individualizing support in the classroom, in the power of strong homeschool connection. I hope you find these strategies useful as you continue to transform your practices and empowering every learner in your classroom. Thanks.